We're driving into the Wenlock River. We're a long way up the Wenlock River, and we're trying to get Jeff his first Saratoga. And if Jeff's going to catch his first toga, it's going to be up here. So we're going to spend 2 days camping up here. It's a bit of a slow drive and tight drive to get in, but unbelievable fishing. Mate, you're alive.
I don't know where you went to, mate, but you should have been down there. 1 Saratoga, 3 barras.
You got your first toga.
Saratoga.
Oh, stop it.
3 barramundis, about 5 sooty grunters. What else I get? A catfish, some.
Get an archie?
And I got an archie fish for you. Here we are.
Oh, stop it. What are we going? Oh, that's lunch.
That's lunch, I know. We're all covered.
We put a roast chicken in the camp oven. And when a roast chicken turns out really well in the camp oven, this is what it looks like. So, morning of our second day here. Yesterday afternoon, we just had a bit of a lazy fish. We just walked the riverbank, but Jeff went a real long way up, and he got Saratoga, Sooty Grunter, Barramundi, and archerfish out of that deep hole. As you saw, he brought a barra and archerfish back. You might think it's strange bringing an archerfish back, but archerfish is delicious. But today's going to be completely different. So this is the furthest upstream of the Wenlock that I've ever fished. I'm pushing the little Alvey boat that we brought in on the roof of my car yesterday all the way upstream. Well, not all the way upstream. We're gonna have to walk it for a long way, and we're looking for a deep section that we can fish. So we've got a little electric motor on the back, and if we find a deep enough hole, we can fish a stretch of this river. But the other reason for the electric motor is as we get to deep bits, we can put the boat in, motor up through some deep bits, and if we get another shallow section that we can walk, we'll walk it. How good's this? We hit a little shallow section and the water's running really fast, so the engine can't keep up. So I get to sit here while Jeffrey walking a little tinny through a crocodile infested river isn't something that Jeff and I would recommend anyone doing, but we've done this for many years and we're a little bit more experienced at it than most people, but still it's really dangerous, and Jeff and I know the dangers and we choose to do it anyway. But it's something we don't recommend anybody else doing. But we do check all the sandbars as we walk past them, because crocs love to sun themselves up on these little sandbars that are in the middle of the Wenlock here, and you soon work out if there's a resident croc, because he'll leave a lot of tracks up on a sandbar. But that's not foolproof, because crocs travel up and down this river all the time. We've walked a couple of k's, so we're a fair way up. So we've got a few deep sections to fish on the way back, but we're going to fish this. We're going to see if it's worth walking the boat around the corner, see if there's anything around the corner. But I think it's about time we started fishing.
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah. Nice toga. So, Jeff's been smacked by a few sooties up there and only landed that one. And that's my first toga of the trip, so I'm super happy about that. He got me in some fast flowing water too, so it was good fun. I'll let him go. Oh, come here, Jimmy. Oh, look at that.
So pretty, aren't they?
Aren't they amazing?
Oh yeah, happy ball. Hey, I think we got barrack on. Oh, that's a good fish. No,
That's a good one.
that's a cracker.
I think that was a Saratoga that was pushing it.
Oh, I gotta hit. Oh yeah. Oh, that's little. How did you get all the big fish? That's a good fish. Oh yeah.
Barrow.
Hey, barrack.
Nice little barra. Beautiful.
Oh, Wardy's on. Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, that's a good barrack.
That's a good one. Look at the size of that fella. Let me have a look.
Oh yeah.
Oh, baby. Very good.
Goodie. Oh, it's a big sooty. Those sooties, they go like a freight train, don't they? That's a good sooty. Look at that. That's a football.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Saratoga.
Geez, they fight hard. Oh. Oh, tiger. Got some air.
We've caught a heap of barra, a few Saratoga. We've got archer fish. We've got, I just dropped the tarp on. We've got heaps of Sooty Grunter. We haven't moved. We're fishing one snag and we've got about 15 fish off it already. So this is just unbelievable. And I believe that's 16 I can hear pull and drag in the background. Mate, how are you still pulling fish out of that snag?
It's the same hole.
That is a cracking barrel. Look at that.
He's got my Z-man in there somewhere. Look. Down deep.
It is down deep.
Yeah, I'm getting it back. Mate, that's the money shot right there, eh?
That's a shot.
Dang. Well,
Yep, straight away.
That is the bomb. Oh, that's a good one.
Come on out. Oh, got it. It's a barrel.
Well, it's a healthy system, eh? Oh, this is living, Barry.
That's another big barrel.
Oh, that's probably the bigger one, eh?
Oh yeah! That is unbelievable. We've caught probably 30 fish out of this snag and we're still going. He's gone. Another toga. Toga City.
Have a go at this fella. The football. Oh, baby.
After walking that bank and having that unbelievable session, we're back in the little tinny. Jeff's working his lure along the snag. I don't think it's going to be too long before he's hooked up, but we're going to drift all the way back to camp. We've got a couple of k's of river and we've got two deep sections, this one and another one further up that we're going to spend a fair bit of time fishing. So I can't imagine we'll have a session as good as what we just had from the bank up there, but this should be good too. Jeff's on. You can pull heaps of sooties out of that hole, aren't you? On this camera you can see the snag right behind the boat, so all you got to do is let the current take your plastic down into the snag. And I dropped it. Let's wait for the fish to come and up out of the snag and eat it. Oh, big tiger! It's not even casting it. It's just dropping it into the snag. And that's a big tiger. Oh, look at this guy. Yeah. You want to lift him in?
Holy moly.
Oh.
Jimmers, just in time.
You don't cast. Just drop the lure down beside the boat. Look at that. What a toga.
First one we've seen up here.
You can see where his tail's been and his claws have been, but it's not new, which is good. Hopefully he's moved on. Alright, we just had lunch and Jeff wants to show me his hole, which is about 1 kilometre upstream.
I think so.
Actually downstream.
Downstream.
1 kilometre downstream.
We're going to find some Barra, Saratoga, some Sooty Grunter.
Alright, well, we've got about 40 or
And
50
some other
fish already
bycatch.
today.
I know, it'd be hard pressed to match upstream, but let's go downstream.
Let's give it a crack. I'll show you a look around camp while Jeff does his hair and makeup and stuff like that before we go. But what we do, we've got the little tinny on the water just over here, so you can see that just there, and also we hang our food up on a tree. We hang everything up on a tree that we can. We've got a pretty messy table here, but that table is a bloke's table. It looks like we've got a heap of firewood, but we're ripping through it pretty quick. Some of it's quite soft, and we've got some hardwood there, so yeah, we've got plenty of firewood. This is my setup. Yeah, it's just a cheap rooftop tent, but it's over the back of the tub on the Navara, so we can get the boat on top of the roof. So the rooftop tent sits over the tub and boat sits over the top of that. And although that looks comfortable, what's 10 times more comfortable is Jeff's bunker. Those bunkers are unbelievable comfortable. You get a nice mattress on that, and they've got a little camp stretcher. And look, that's pretty much about it. The whole camping setup. Now we're going to grab some rods. Jeff uses a backpack. I use an Alvey. I'm an old beach fisherman, so I've got the Alvey beach fishing bag that I throw a few lures and spare jig heads and fishing line and stuff like that in. We're going to walk a kilometre upstream and hopefully show you a bit more action, and we'll get a bit more fishing done. Okay, mate, we've walked about a kilometre through the bush.
So we just come up to the spot that I was fishing at yesterday. It's a bit of a deep drop off. There's some logs, snaggy kind of stuff on the other side of the bank, and I was just casting pretty much all the way up to the other side of the bank and just boom. So I think it goes deep for a bit further, but I didn't really take it too much further past this area here. So based on yesterday's experience,
there's a fish rolling just on this log just here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I caught the Saratoga, 3 Barramundis mixture.
Yeah, right.
We're about to hit it again.
Jeff's hole comes good. The size of this bad boy. These are cracking sooty. That's a sooty. That's a sooty. Alright, you've got a friend. You've got a friend with him. Oh, that's a tiger. Look at that. Beautiful Saratoga. Wow. Look at the mouth on them, they're just unbelievable. What a sport fish. They fight so hard they get airborne. Oh yeah! Come here, grabbed it. There's sooty, but look at it. They're so aggressive. I saw him coming. He must have swum 20 metres to get that lure. He came from the log on the other side. And he just had eyes for it and nailed it. I had to look at this snag on this side of the bank. Oh, there it is. Oh, there's a Saratoga too. He nailed it. Alright, Toga just belted it. See if there's anything else down there that might be interested. Oh yeah, there's another Toga. Oh, how good is this? Oh. Wenlock Saratoga, look at that. Pretty amazing day, but wandered back to camp and might have a flick in the morning when the sun's coming up. But what do you reckon? Barbecue chicken legs?
Smoked barbecue chicken legs.
That looks a bit fancy for camping there, Jeffrey.
Fancy. This is the cob cooker. So got a couple of briquettes on there. Gonna let that ash over, which will probably take about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We're going to put some chicken drumsticks on there. I'm gonna add some smoky flavour to it. Put the lid on. Got enough.
It's very early. We're going for a walk. I'm going to catch a shitload more fish.
Yeah,
hopefully. Yeah.
Last day, got to round it off.
Last morning.
Got to keep the numbers up.
So last session, and we've found a few lures that worked really, really well. And I'll take you through all the lures and fishing gear and stuff we used, and especially one particular lure and colour that works really well in the freshwater and Cape York, doesn't it? So I'll take you all through that at the end, but let's go fishing.
Okay.
If in the next video you see that I look like I've lost a little bit of weight, it'll be because I've just spent 3 days chasing Jeff through the bush, walking through the creek, walking through the Wenlock River. I can't even see where he is up ahead, so at the moment there's a big stingray. I don't know if you can see him on the camera. There's a couple of fish sitting around him as well. Massive stingray. The fish that were around him were just over here. I think he left them behind. There he is. What is that? It's a shark, isn't it? Ooh. And that thing was pretty big. So, ooh, what? That's pretty big too. It's just an average size sooty, but crunched. Oh, mate. We're back at the place we were at yesterday afternoon where we caught quite a few fish, but it's sort of indicating to us that, you know, these fish hang around in the same area, because we're here today and not catching very many fish at all. We're really working hard for one or two. So when you find a new spot on any river, whether you're fishing the Wenlock, the Cohen, the Archer, the Jardine, try to walk out to new places and you'll find new fish. Like I said, we caught most of the fish here yesterday, so we're working hard for one or two today, but that's a nice little sooty. I'll let him go. So this has to be some of the best fishing on Cape York, and you don't need a fishing guide, you don't even need a boat. All you need is a car, a bit of camping gear and some basic fishing tackle. And look, the locations that we go to, we're on the Wenlock River. That's got to be my favourite river on Cape York. And the Wenlock, why the Wenlock is my favourite is that it follows a big gully that goes right through the middle of the cape, and it doesn't branch off in all directions like the Cowan River and the Archer River and stuff like that. Those rivers are amazing, but the Wenlock is very predictable. And you can do this in the Archer, you can do it in the Cowan, you can do it in the Jardine. There's lots of river systems. The Mitchell, also, the Olive is a really good river system as well. So it doesn't have to be the Wenlock. But if you're going to do this on the Wenlock, from Frenchman's Track all the way to Stones Crossing, there's heaps of access points to get down to the Wenlock River. There's Morton Crossing. Look, Stone Crossing has got a few access points. If you can get traditional owner permission, Billy's Lagoon is one of the better spots to drop in and fish the Wenlock. So there's heaps of spots like this. There's a track that we came in to get in here. I don't know the name of it, but it's a great little spot as well. The fishing tackle we used, don't worry about, I see so many people bringing big bait casters and heavy threadline reels up. What for? There's Sooty Grunter, Barramundi and Saratoga. They're all reasonable sized fish, but they're not going to stitch you up. 8-pound line. I use a 16-pound leader. I know Jeff uses 8-pound with a 25-pound leader, but we never had any hassle pulling some of these fish out of the snags and stuff like that. I think I lost 1 or 2 fish that ran me into a snag out of 50, 60, 70, 80 fish. I can't remember how many fish I caught, but this pulled them up really easily. That's the Albi Orbiter SR60, the smallest threadline reel out of the Albi range. So you can use a 1500, 2000, 2500 reel, whatever brand you choose to use. Easy stuff. That's a 3 to 5 kilo spin stick, so really light. And the lures we used, I love to use Berkeley Gulps, and that's not a Berkeley Gulp, that's a Berkeley Gulp. And I love the pumpkin seed in the freshwater. It just seems to work really well, but I found the tails were getting bitten off all the time. I went through like 3 or 4 packets of these. So I changed over to Z-Man, and one Z-Man lure that I really like in the freshwater is, it's midnight oil, but the lure is a motor oil colour with a silver and gold fleck through it. So they call it midnight oil, and for some reason that is just a killer lure in the freshwater. Works really well in the salt, works really well in really well in the salt, but for freshwater, don't leave home without any of these. That's the 3-inch minnows and in the midnight oil, and this is the Streak Z curly tails, streaks or whatever they want to call it, and that's a 4-inch curly tail lure in the midnight oil. Midnight oil is just a killer. Throw it on a 1/6 ounce jig head. I wouldn't go a 1/4 ounce on these because they're pretty buoyant. The other lure that Jeff used a lot of and got a heap of fish on, it's a fuse bait lure, and you've seen, I'm starting to see more and more of these. This is, the shape's called the Doctor, and this is called Sea Fog is the colour, and he caught a heap of fish on that as well. So look, fish light, choose those plastics or whatever your favourite plastic is, but I'm telling you what, the Z-Man Midnight Oil is a cracking colour, so give that a run.